Hi, soulmates. Welcome to class. My name is Justice. This is the Honest Fashion Academy. So, in this class, I want to be showing us how to cut a high-low flare top. Okay, but before then, I'm going to be showing us three different ways that we can fold our fabric depending on the amount of volume that we want and the amount of fabric that we have. Okay, in this design you can choose to do a 90-degree, 180-degree and 360-degree. First, we're going to be folding the 180-degree. This means that you're going to be making it into two places for both the front and the back of the dress. Okay, so from the edge of the fabric or the paper like this, we're just going to fold to form a triangle. Okay, just the way you see it happening in the video, we're going to be folding it this way. This is just what a 90-degree flare is. Okay, so once you fold it this way, you're not going to mark where the shoulder begins, right? Remember that the shoulder is usually divided into two, either for the front or for the back. Whichever way you decide to fold it, it's going to be divided into two. Now this is not a peplum cut where you're going to be rounding the neckline. Okay, so we just have to locate where our shoulder measurement is. So assuming the shoulder is 8, we're going to find where 8 is, and on that part we'll mark our neck width and take our neck depth. All right, and then every other thing follows. Now the next one we're going to be folding is 180-degree flip. First we're going to fold our paper or our fabric this way, and then from the edge of the paper we'll now fold over the way we folded the 90-degree flip. Okay, so normally this is just how you're going to fold your paper on anything peplum, but we're making something a dress. So we're still going to locate where our shoulder line falls, which part is going to accommodate the measurement, right? That is shoulder divide by 2. Okay, so still on that shoulder line we'll mark our neck width, and then from there we're going to take our neck depth, the same thing we did on the 90-degree flare, and then every other measurement follows. On this case, we're still going to be making this into two places, meaning that we're going to have a 360-degree fullness when we are done. Okay, now for the 360, we are going to fold this way. After folding into 2, we're going to fold into 3 again, and it's not going to be having an opening. So from the edge of the paper, we're still going to be marking our shoulder measurements. Now in this case, it might not really be that easy to just locate where the shoulder is. We're going to be making a round circle, and from wherever it stops, right, we're going to mark our armhole line from one part of the paper. So this is where we have. Now you don't need to make it exactly the measurement so that it will not be too wide for your shoulder line. So from part of it this way, we're going to take our armhole measurements. Okay, so when we open it, we are cutting both front and back together. I hope this is clear, both front and back together. After cutting it, everything general, we're now going to open up and trim off the front part. But what we're going to be doing here is the 90-degree flare, okay, which you're going to cut into two to form a 180-degree flare. Now if your fabric is small, you can do the 180, which is more ideal, and then have a 360-degree flare, because you're going to be cutting it into two as well. So for the 90-degree, this is what we have, and we are now going to locate where our shoulder measurement is. We have a little allowance there. Okay, so on that line we're going to mark a straight line. We're going to mark a straight line like this. You have to be sure that your line is really on a straight line. So I'm still going to cross check by taking measurement from here to make sure that the two of them, you can see that they are not the same. Okay, so you have to measure it again to be sure where it is. Now I have the accurate line. I'm now going to take my neck depth, which shouldn't be too deep. Okay, 3 inches, 3.5 is enough. And then take my neck width of 3.5 inches, come down by the shoulder drop down of 1 inch, right? And then from the shoulder line now, I can now take the length of the blouse that we are making before you are using the length of the blouse for the back because the front is going to be trimmed. So we're using the actual measurement for the back to cut the front, okay, after which you're going to trim it out. So this is what we have in a circle form at the hemline. So all we're going to do now is to cut everything out. This top making is quite easy and simple if you follow it through. We're just going to take our scissors and cut everything out, and then we'll proceed to cutting the back. Now before then, we're going to also mark our armhole depth. I almost forgot that part. And then we take our shoulder measurement on that armhole depth. Let it be on a straight line, but it's not going to be on a straight line because this other part is going to be deep. You can see the way it is. So don't panic that it's not on a straight line. It's going to give us the shape that we want. If you make it exactly, remember that the upper part is narrow and the lower part is wide. So it's just going to look the way you're seeing it on the screen. All right, do not panic. It's going to come out beautiful and well. So cut everything out like this. Cut it out, and after cutting it out, we're now going to place it on another paper to cut the back side. So this is what we have for the front. Like I said, the neck should not be too deep. We want to make it look nicer. So I place it on another paper for the back. I'm trying to trace out what we have. Now, assuming this fabric is wide enough, all we have to do is to add to the measurement, assuming we did not cut the actual measurement for the front. Or before cutting, you should know the amount of fabric you have and what it can accommodate. But since we've cut to the length of the back at once, we're now going to trim exactly what we have for the front so that after cutting, we can now trim off the excess we do not want from the front. I hope this is making sense to you who is watching this video. Okay, if you have any question, please kindly ask a question in the comment section and I will gladly reply your message or your question. So for the the back neckline, it's not going to be as deep as the front. I'll fold it over and mark just 1 inch for the back neckline and connect it like so. Okay, I'll cut it out. Now it's time to trim off the front parts. We do not want this front part to be too high, so we can make it a difference of 5 inches, right? We can make a difference of 5 inches, assuming you're using your actual measurement. This is just a miniature paper illustration, and I hope you're getting value for the time you're spending to watch this. So I'll mark the length of the front and then trim it to align with the side of the back because the two of them are going to join together. Okay, I'll trim it to join the length at the side for the back. Two of them will match up, and the upper part, the front part of the CF, I know you understand what I'm talking about, will now be cut. Okay, so this is what we're going to be having. All we're now going to do is to move to a sewing machine now and join the shoulders, the sides, and then fix our basic sleeve. Okay, like I said also before, the neckline should not be deep except if that is how you want it. It's not a standard that it should be high, and neither is it a standard that it should be low. It just depends on what you know your head can pass through, because this is not going to have an opening except you decide to have it as a style and in the top. Okay, so just make what your head can pass through and you'll be good to go. Cut your facing and that's all. Thank you for watching.